We are going to interview fans of Invincible, and our very first guest is a very special person. Hello everyone, welcome to Invincible Central. My name's MJ, and today we are kicking off our fan interviews of Invincible with a very special person, special to me anyway. He may not be special to you, but hopefully by the end of this video he will be. Mike!
Hola!
Hello, how's it going?
I am doing well. I'm in need of a haircut from COVID lockdowns, but apart from that, groovy. I mean, Lots of time to sit around watching rubbish, reading lots of comics.
Yeah, good to hear. So the viewers and I was going to say listeners then, but you are just purely viewers. Viewers at home won't know who you are. I will quickly just introduce Mike. Mike and I are childhood friends. So we met in the year 2000. It was a very romantic story of how we met. I joined the school that Mike was at 6 weeks before the end of year 8, and we met in English, and the teacher said, get out for the first 5 minutes of the lesson, you can just read whatever you want. I didn't have a book because I didn't know that was a thing. I sat next to Michael, and you got out Battle Chasers.
Oh, I did. One of the first comics that I've ever read, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
The comic that's near and dear to my heart. And sorry, I'm walking with you. This is very unprofessional. But
I know, it's nice.
This is the very graphic novel here that I was reading in an English lesson.
Amazing. And so from that point on, I was like, I think I'm going to like this guy.
Well, yeah. Who doesn't like me? Come on.
And we've been friends ever since. And I'm going to ask Mike some questions. I've got a set of questions that I'm going to be asking all of the guests that we'll do on this little series, because we are going to be speaking to different people, different YouTube personalities as well. So if you are a big fan and you want to be interviewed by me, get in touch and we'll have you on the show. I will interject at a later point in the video just something that is going to be important to the story of Mike and I. But otherwise, I'm just going to fire some questions at Michael.
I thought you weren't ever going to retell the story of us in the bathroom.
I
can imagine that's where it's going.
That's a different channel.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
So, first of all, Mike, what other hobbies do you have outside of comic books?
Outside of comic books, board games. Love a board game. Love Dungeons and Dragons. If you're ever wondering what you should listen to, I can recommend a podcast called
really?
Dice and Desire. So Go check that out. They're on Instagram, Twitter. Get it at all your podcast places. So Spotify, Apple, wherever you want to go to grab it. Give it a listen.
Understand there's some other cool people in that podcast, right?
Yeah, there's Sam, there's Stu, there's Nate. I mean, there's Luke.
Yeah,
there's lots of cool people.
I'm in it as well.
But yeah, go give it a listen to. And obviously, video game, basically anything nerdy. Come on, let's face it. Every nerd knows what every nerd likes.
Yeah, exactly. This next question, I'm not sure I even know the answer to this one. How did you get into comics?
You know what? I'm going to go back to this lovely graphic novel here. So, the town I grew up in as a child, basically got a rebuilt library. That means they got a lot more stock in. And in that stock, they started getting graphic novels, which in England is a rarity, especially around the time of like the 2000s and before. I've always been into art, obviously cartoons, things like that. So I kind of just walked past, grabbed one, thought I'd give it a read. Absolutely fell in love with it. And then I guess it just spiraled from there and just kind of, yeah.
And was that what it was, Battle Chasers?
It was Battle Chasers. It was this very issue here.
Oh.
Is from the library, yes.
I was going to say, how do you still have it?
I said I lost it. They made me pay for it. So, obviously, I got it from the library. It's not stolen or anything like that.
No, it's paid for. It's sort of stolen. But
I mean, this is also before the days of the internet as well. So, if you wanted this, you'd have to go into a bookshop to get this.
Yeah.
Like I said, in the UK, not a chance.
Yeah, that's it. Similarly, when I got into comics, I got into them through the reprints of Spider-Man that was
Oh
in
yeah,
the
I do
UK. It
remember
was branded
this.
under the Astonishing Spider-Man, and I didn't get into them long before I met you. It was the tail end of when I lived in Romsey that I started like getting literally just a couple of issues, and then very soon after that I moved to Chesham where Mike and I met, and fairly soon after that we were really fortunate in that we had a comic book shop built in our town.
Yeah, I don't know what year that must have opened, like 2002. So maybe like 2 years
Yeah,
after.
yeah, I think it might have been 01. No, it was definitely 01 because I think it was around the time that Pokemon came out, Pokemon Gold and Silver.
See, I was only judging it by HeroClix, and I remember HeroClix being in the store, and they weren't released till 2002.
Oh yeah, that's right, actually. Yeah. Oh, maybe it was 2002. Yeah. No, I think you're right because I remember we saw like their like tray of HeroClix, and they had like a unique Wasp figure that was, I think it was £8, and it absolutely blew my mind that a tiny bit of plastic could cost £8, and then you and I spent so much on HeroClix, certainly so much more than £8.
I've literally got boxes and boxes full, and things that at the time would have sold for, let's say, like Nightcrawler. It was like a £40 little figure, let's say, or I don't know, $50, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, now he's just sat in a shoebox. Probably should have sold him at that time, shouldn't I? But who knows?
It's still going. I'm still into watching like the unboxings. There's a new unboxing on tonight, which I'm going to watch on later. So I don't play it anymore, but I'm still vaguely interested in it.
It's not WizKids anymore, though, is it? It's
It
NECA?
is.
I thought it was
No,
NECA
it's still WizKids. I don't know if NECA maybe own WizKids, but it is still WizKids. And next question: what are your favourite comic books outside of Invincible?
Oh, okay. It changes all the time. One that always stands is Scott Pilgrim. I mean, I know it's graphic novel, it's not a comic, and it's been around for years. I've started rebuying the hardback color ones recently, which is an expensive way of doing it, but
Oh, really?
Oh, it's like £25 an issue, 6 of them.
Oh, are they? Okay, I didn't know that.
Pretty pricey. But on top of that, I kind of like independent comics more nowadays. Like when I was growing up, I was very much X-Men, Marvel, loved all the Marvel stuff. Now I've kind of moved away from that. Big time favorites, Why the Last Man, absolutely loved that comic, was incredible.
Yeah.
Recently got into Lumberjanes, which I've discussed with you before, which I recommend you check out. I think it's ended now, actually, on issue 75-ish.
I think they're making a TV show as well, right?
They were making a live action one. I believe it's now been phased down to a cartoon.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know. I mean, Google will know all the answers on that one.
Yeah.
And then another thing that was meant to be turned into a TV show, but never happened. Chew, obviously.
Yeah.
Another great comic, but no real mainstream ones nowadays.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm vaguely the same. I read a bit of Marvel, but Image is where my heart is these days.
Mm-hmm.
When did you first read Invincible, and how did you get into it? This is the one that I'll interject into after.
Oh, that's good because I can't really remember this. I remember
cool.
I didn't pick it up at the beginning. I picked up a graphic novel of it first, and then I continued to buy the graphic novels until roughly about issue 36-ish. So what's that? Like 2007, something like that. So it went probably a good 3 years or so before I started picking up the individual comics. And I think I just picked it up on a whim, like just because it looked really nice. But if you want to interject with anything, then feel free.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
So I mean, my side of it was I picked up the first trade paperback, which is just the first 4 issues. It was definitely like at least a couple years after it started. It wasn't straight away. Read that, and I didn't have at this time. I hardly had any graphic novels. I just bought it because it looked colourful and it looked cool. Read it. I thought it was good. Didn't love it, and I didn't read it for I think probably at least a year, probably a couple years, until you then recommended it to me, and you said, "Oh, this gets really good," and you lent me. I think you lent me everything up until volume 8, which is, as you say, it's roughly around the 36 sort of stage. I read all of them, and I was like, "Oh man, this Robert Kirkman said the story time and time again that he wishes he put that thing that happened just in case of spoilers. If you're watching this channel, I'm sure you've read it. But the big thing that happens in Volume 2 or Issue 7, he always says he wishes he put that in the first trade paperback, so Issue 4 or whatever. And if he did, maybe I would have been a fan earlier. But yeah, you recommended it to me.
That was just the point of where you were like, this is nothing like I've ever read before.
Yeah, exactly.
It's incredible.
And the level of violence as well, it just so from that point on I was absolutely hooked, and then I started buying the single issues as well. I think it must have been just after you, because I think I started getting them around 44, something like that.
Good issue to start on. Key issue.
Was that it was Anissa, is it? Anissa's first appearance, is it?
First issue.
Yeah. And then from there we were just obsessed from that point on.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely great. And going back to HeroClix, they did bring out HeroClix for it.
Yes.
As well. Yeah. Which I never got and I've always regretted, and now you can't find them for love nor money.
Really?
And I mean, they're just going to be dust collectors nowadays. They're just going to sit somewhere, aren't they? Because I'm not going to play with them anymore, which is a little unfortunate.
I've lost my entire hero. Well, I say lost. I can't find them. I don't know where they are. Like all of my, I have got the Invincible set because I've got that boxed with my in my shrine. But my actual collection, I don't know where I've put it. And I've got like custom figures that I made of like the Sinister Syndicate and whatnot. I don't know where I've put them. I mean,
you must have thousands as well.
Yeah, I did have a lot. I think I got rid of quite a lot, but I definitely kept like my customs and like my Spider-Man and whatnot. But don't know where I've put them. They'll be somewhere, but I don't know where. But talking about HeroClix, that sort of leads on to the next question of what merch do you have, or what significant issues or anything like that?
All right, so I was looking at my issues yesterday or the day before to see what variant covers I've got, whether it's actually worth me going after all the variants. I've got about half of them.
Okay, nice.
Worked out, but it is the later half of the variants that I've got.
Yeah.
So if I want to go back and get the key variant issues, it's going to be expensive.
Yeah.
I've obviously got all 1 through to 144 because, why wouldn't you?
In fact, you helped me complete my run very recently as well.
I did. I mean, and that was a pain to get that issue.
Yeah, Mike was very, very, very kind. He found this lot on eBay, which included the lowest print run issue of Invincible, just the series issue 10, and we sort of wagered a little bit, and I said if I pay like half of it, can I have the 10? I didn't know it was the lowest print run at that time. I knew it was rare. I didn't realize it was like the rarest standard issue, and then I felt really bad because I was like, "Oh yeah, cool. Like, yeah, Mike's got quite a lot of that. I've got 10. That's pretty good." But then you struggled so much to find it after that, and I was like, "Oh no!" I was like,
"It was alright. It was only about 2 or 3 months. It wasn't the worst thing in the world." And then Sod's Law since then, I've seen like 2 or 3 of them pop up. But what are you gonna do? Yeah, it's completed. That's done. So key issues. I've got obviously 1 through to 144, a couple of the variants, nothing really rare. As for merch, I don't have any merch apart from one thing, which I was playing with before you came on. So we're just going to stick them up.
Hey, there it is.
The lovely Atom Eve.
That's the mini mates, right?
Yeah, it is indeed. Omni-Man.
Wow.
Alan the Alien.
Nice.
And of course, Invincible himself.
Excellent.
These are just beautiful, actually.
Lots of articulation.
Yeah, well, it's Mega Bloks basically. Is it Mega? Yeah, it's Mega Bloks. Yeah, basically.
It's not Mega. I mean, it's not officially Mega Bloks, but it's as good as.
Where
did you get that?
Kirkman and Walker on it.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
Otley not mentioned at all.
Hmm.
So I don't know if this came out.
May just be because they created them.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
What did I get? I got for a birthday present from X, maybe 6-7 years ago, something like that.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, but obviously, absolutely great birthday present.
Yeah.
Very happy with them. They sit on my nerd shelf, or one of my nerdy shelves, I should say. But yeah, that's all the merch I've really got. I've not got any. I keep toying with the idea of getting the actual figures. You know what I mean? Especially now you've got the new Diamond direct ones coming out. They look really nice.
And hopefully, because the thing is, there really hasn't been that much merchandise thus far. Hopefully, if the show is a success, I mean, as you say, we've already got those 2 Diamond figures that have been announced. I pre-ordered them.
We were chatting about probably Funko Pops. They're probably
there's got to be more. Yeah.
I think, and then we'll start getting T-shirts and things. I mean, I know you can get T-shirts already off of the actual Image website, but actually, it's not even Image, it's Skybound.
Skybound store, yeah, but close enough.
Everyone knows what I meant.
Yeah. So, what's your favourite story arc?
See, now this is a toss-up. Is it dinosaur ones, because the dinosaur story arc is incredible, or is it Conquest ones?
Oh yeah.
Or is it just I don't know, or just the beginning arc there? You know the arc I'm on about, the one we were on about earlier. I'm gonna say it's the beginning arc, just because I'd never read anything like it before.
Yeah.
At the time, it was very teenage angsty. It was almost like if the OC did a comic, this is what would happen.
Yeah, and they did start in the same year, actually, 2000. I think the OC started in 2003 anyway.
Also, that did have a comic in it, didn't it? Because he made...
yes.
I can't remember the name of the character now.
No, I can't, but you are right. No, I can't remember.
But yes, anyway. So, it was very much to my taste at the time. And then it just grew. It's got more bloody, more violent. It's got darker, but at the same time, it's got its lightheartedness to it. Well, that was great English there. So yeah, I could literally talk about it all day. But I'm going to go with the first arc. So what does that cover? 1 through to 11ish, 10, 11?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, like the whole 8 is enough, is it? It includes that.
Yeah. So it's got to be up to issue 11ish.
Yeah, nice. And who are your favourite characters in general then?
Well, obviously you got to have your key ones. So you got to have Invincible, Atom Eve, Alan, because he's just great. Omni-Man, I'm not overly keen on, if I'm going to be honest.
Wow, controversial.
I mean, yeah, it's a little. He's cool. I'm sure with the new show coming out, and obviously J.K. Simmons and the voice and everything, that's just going to make me love him a lot more.
Yeah. I think he is. I think he is going to bring some real. I don't even know how to finish that sentence.
But depth to that character.
He's so perfect for it as well. He wouldn't necessarily have been the first voice that I would think of, but now that he's been cast as it, I sort of can't imagine anyone else.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was kind of thinking as well. So, yeah, I mean, and then sub characters, the Muller Twins.
Yeah.
Obviously, gotta love them. I think Terra in the last couple of issues when she was growing up could have been a more interesting character.
Yeah.
We'll kind of chat about that a bit later on.
Yeah. I just yanked my... It's embarrassing.
I'll tell you who I did like, and I can't remember her name, but I thought they could have done a lot more with her as a character. She was the green kind of woman, lightning goddess kind of person that came down.
Universa.
Yes, yeah. I feel like that could have been a key ally to Invincible later on, and just never did anything with it.
Yeah. Yeah, there was so many of those little things that they introduce but don't really expand on, and I kind of like that because it shows that there's a wider universe out there that you just can't possibly touch on all the elements. But you are right, I really liked her as well, and just they didn't do anything with her. She's got a really cool design, and I
mean, I don't think they even did anything on the spin-offs Guardian of the Galaxy or
no, I don't think so.
Anything like
that. I think she did maybe even just 2 issues or something. I think she's on 2 covers, 54 and 80 something like that.
I could not tell you, but I thought she was a good character. They could have developed her a lot more.
Yeah.
And they did kind of become allies, obviously, in the end. But yeah, I was going to say, it's got to be Atom Eve as my all-time favourite.
Oh,
I don't
really?
know why. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think she kind of grounds the comic quite nicely.
Yeah, she's quite curt at times and like cuts through the humor a little bit and brings a bit of levity to it all. So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
yeah,
So, it just brings a bit of realism to it, which I
yeah,
like.
nice.
Oh,
My
and
final
Science Dog. The Science Dog's awesome.
nice. My final question is, what would you like to see from Invincible in the future? Obviously, we've got the animated show coming up. Do you think that's going to like generate more interest? Well, of course, it's going to generate more interest in Invincible. But what do you hope to come out of all that new buzz?
Well, obviously, everyone wants a live-action movie.
Yeah.
Which will be incredibly difficult putting all 144 issues into probably like a 2-hour time slot.
Yeah. So on that note, we hadn't heard much news about the film in a while, but just literally like last week or the week before, this is the first time that Robert Kirkman has mentioned the films, and he referred to it as a film series.
Okay,
So
that'd be
was
nice.
really interesting.
Like
yeah.
three films I could see being. Like,
yeah, I
nice
think
amount.
they could. Yeah, I think that I think it would actually be the whole 144. I reckon you could split it into 6 quite nicely, but I think you could do it in 3. You could do
I think
You'd
you
need
could
to
do
cut
it
a
in
lot.
3, and then it'd be nice to do like spin-off movies almost. So they could do like when Robot and Monsters Girl went into the alternate reality, which we're not going to give too much away just in case, like you said. But
yeah.
I feel that could be a film in itself.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's a lot of arcs like that.
Yeah. So that would be really nice. I would like to see the comic spin up again, but different. What I was kind of thinking is maybe they could show how I don't know how to say this without. In fact, I don't think it would ruin anything if I say how Marky kind of got on.
Yeah.
Like, growing up.
I completely agree.
That could be interesting.
Yeah. My camera's just gone off. That's annoying. Oh, it might have just been the. Hang on. Carry on. I think it was probably just the screen and I turned it off. Cut.
I would have liked to have seen more of Terra. And maybe a spin-off of her, but I don't think they can. That's the problem there. Because of how everything ended up and how that culture evolved, I should say.
Yeah.
There won't be anything there for them to do with it, I don't think.
Yeah, exactly.
Or if it is, it won't be the same kind of feel that Invincible had.
Yeah, I agree entirely.
Where with Marky, I feel like they could just start from fresh. Literally all over again. Go.
Yeah, totally. Because is it Marky that who is it that again?
In fact, should we just say let's just put a spoiler in that?
This is going to be spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers galore. Because you had Armstrong Levy's kid.
Does he hang out with, or does she hang out with Marky?
Or is it no, they never meet. They never meet. I don't think. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
I think it's just like one scene of him coming through like a portal and going, "Oh, this is where my father's arch enemy," or her. Right. It wasn't him. Yeah, this is where my father's arch enemy, Mark, was. Blah blah blah.
And it was just that one pattern. Doesn't he or she? I can't remember the gender. But
I think it's a he. I'm pretty sure.
Don't they have a cat as well?
They had some kind of animal on them.
Like just one panel, all that intrigue in just one panel is like, oh. Yeah,
but that was very much the last issue, wasn't it? It was just wrap up. Like they could have gone for like another year. Easily.
Oh yeah. They could have gone forever.
Yeah. I mean, I liked aspects of the last issue. I think it tidied it all up nicely. The whole thing with Eve as well was interesting. What they did with her. Which I wouldn't have seen coming, but it makes sense. Now you've kind of read all the issues, you're like, okay, I could go with that. That's plausible.
Yeah.
Or maybe even in the comics they could do, because there's obviously alternate realities. They could do things opening up there. I don't.
Exactly. Yeah, I think there's loads of opportunities
to go with. But yeah, obviously the more merch the better. So let's just merch it up a bit. Let's see my comics increase in value. Not that I'm ever going to sell them, but
not bad to have on the side.
Yeah, it was a frantic kind of rush to go out and get them all before this series dropped. So yeah, But yeah, no. Why? What would you like to see? Go on.
For the series drop, so
Shut up, Siri.
Yeah, pretty much echoing you, really. I think there's still definitely some like spin-off comics that I think my number one thing would be some sort of spin-off comic. The main thing I would want is that I definitely want Kurtman writing it, and I definitely want a good artist. And I would want it to be.
I know we were saying earlier about artists, and obviously Otley is just the one.
Yeah.
Corey Walker, I can take or leave if I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, I like Corey Walker, but for Invincible, Ryan Otley's always been my favourite. One thing that does disappoint me with comic books is that the artists change so much. Like I've got Avengers here, which I've not read yet, with Ed McGuinness art, but he's so like he basically does one arc and then sits out like 10 issues or whatever, and that's one of the reasons why Invincible is so good. You had Ryan Otley on it for like 120 issues or whatever out of 144, just amazing. So yeah, I want to see more comics, as you said, more merch, and absolutely desperate for those live action films. I just hope that the TV series is popular because I think it's a bit of a tough sell. Like a violent adult cartoon, the general like the types of people at work that I speak to about TV shows, they probably wouldn't watch a cartoon.
Well, you say that. I mean, you've got things like Archer and
yeah, that's true.
They're like adult cartoons. They do
that
very
is true.
well.
And I guess Family Guy,
Big Mouth, Family Guy, anything like that.
Just a different genre.
Yeah, I mean,
but I'm going to be plugging the shit out of it, like.
Oh, 100%. I mean, I'm really upset I can't just kind of watch them all in one go, if I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because I would just spend a day on my sofa doing that.
Yeah.
And then rewatch them a couple of times. But
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if we did get a live action film, who would you want as Mark, per se?
Do you know what? I really don't know. I've had a think about this, and I'm not sure.
I'm thinking maybe just an unknown. Like...
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, I think like there's like Timothée Chalamet is not bad, but probably by the time they even kick off, maybe he would even be a little bit too old. I think they should cast someone young, like they have with Spider-Man. Cast someone young and let him grow up through the films, and I'd want them to produce the films quite quickly to maintain that. But yeah, I'd probably agree. Like an unknown, there's honestly no one that I'm like, oh, they're definitely good. Because
hold on, just go back a point here. You said you want it to be quite quick for them to bring out the films, just so he stays there as a kid. But he doesn't say it's like a kid through the comics
but
either. I don't know what the time span is.
If it's a couple of years between films, like I want the films probably to be a couple years apart. Basically, which I think would be a good pace up until, well, for certainly most of it.
Yeah, I mean, it depends who they get on it. I mean, who's got the rights at it at the moment? Do you know?
I'm not sure actually.
Because it was Paramount at one point.
Yeah, Paramount bought it in 2006, but those lapsed. I'm not sure if anyone has the rights yet. It might just be that they're developing it and then we'll take it to us. It might be Universal. It might be Universal.
Just give it to Disney. They'll do something with it.
Well, I don't think Universal have got. I can't think of a superhero franchise that Universal have got. It might be Universal.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
I mean, I'm pretty happy with that if that is the case.
Yeah.
Or maybe a video game as well. That would be nice to see.
Oh man, that would be amazing.
If it's done well.
Yeah.
Like the new Spider-Man games, or
yeah, exactly.
Batman Arkham City, that kind of style.
Yeah.
That would be pretty sweet. I'd be happy with that.
Actually, if you've ever played the Lego Marvel games, the flying in that is brilliant. Like out of all the superhero games I've played that have got flying in, none of them feel amazing apart from weirdly, because they're not the most deep or interesting games. But the Lego games, the flying feels amazing. So if they can nail that, because basically you've got like. You can it just controls really nice and move around nicely, but then you've got double tap on X to like go from like slow to fast, and it just is really fluid and it works really nicely. I think if they nail the flying, that for me that would be a big part of it.
I think that would be a big part of the movies as well, though, because flying is never great. I mean, let's look at the new Wonder Woman. That film was all right. It wasn't superb,
I liked it, to be fair,
but her flying, worst part.
Wow.
It looked awful.
Oh, wow. Okay. I thought it looked okay. I didn't think it looked amazing.
Yeah,
but you are right. It would be a big part and again, like we don't get that many people that fly. I mean, you've got like Thor and Iron Man in Marvel, but that like unassisted, just a normal human flying always looks a bit janky. Like even in things like Superman and whatnot, like they don't spend too much focus on it. So I think the kineticism and like the violence of the flying in Invincible would be a huge part of it. It would have to be.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah. So yeah, video game. In fact, just everything. Just give me everything.
And I think that just about wraps it up. Give me everything. Thank you very much for joining me, Mike.
It's quite all right. Thanks for the invite. Always nice to have a chat, especially when it's about Invincible.
Yeah.
So,
you plugged Dyson Desire at the beginning. Is there anything else that you want to plug?
Oh, just Dyson Desire more, mate.
Yeah.
let's plug the hell out of it.
Yeah, I can get on board with that.
No, obviously got to be on this channel anyway. Food Review UK. Let's back that one in there as well.
Wow, great channel, to be honest.
Yeah, great channel. I'm just plugging you for you.
Yeah, this is fine. You can carry on, to be honest. Thank you very much, mate. Have a good evening, and we hope that you guys enjoyed the video. And like I say, let us know in the comments below your thoughts on this video, and if you want to put yourself forward to be interviewed. Cheers.
Tally-ho!